Welcome to Money Chat Now. I am your host, Larry Steinhouse, and today is Monday, November 15th. All right, just remember, if you like the show, hit that share button, hit that like button, and of course you can comment live during the show on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. Money Chat Now is brought to you by Investor Schooling, and if you'd like, you can attend a complimentary class this Thursday by going to investorschooling.com, and there you will learn about real estate investing and stock options trading from those who do it every day. All right, so today we're going to be discussing the market update, how the market did today. We're also going to be discussing airline price increases, the infrastructure bill signing and what that means. We're going to be talking about the company WeWork being back, market outlook by Morgan Stanley, silver and gold, and the fact that inflation is probably not transitory. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the Dow. The Dow actually fell down almost 13 points, and the S&P barely moved. It didn't even have a blip on the radar. The Nasdaq was down seven points today, so nothing really happened except for the market started off okay and then it dropped. That's kind of disappointing, and actually, once again, kind of expected. It's one of those things where the market's going to start to take a little bit of a hit in the next couple of weeks and then come back, but you just need to know that that's going to happen. Let's talk about airline price increases. So, of course, thanks to President Poopy Pants and his dumbass policy on fuel, airlines are being forced to raise their prices because the fuel to fly these planes has increased over 100% since President Braindead and his administration have taken office. Demand for air travel is also on the rise ahead of the holidays, and so are the costs. Airlines also raising to hire thousands of employees to meet growing demand. They're looking for pilots, flight attendants, reservation attendants, baggage handlers, and many others, and they're all competing in a tight labor market, and basically it would seem impossible in the early days of the pandemic. So this is craziness that they're looking for these people, and of course we all know why, and it's probably because of the vaccine mandates, but we'll get into that in a minute. Airlines used up much of the $54 billion in government payroll aid that helped cover their labor bills during the pandemic. So they were given $54 billion to cover payroll while the government overreach shut them down. The rise in cost is threatening the industry's attempt to return to profitability after losing a record $35 billion last year when the scamdemic and government overreach snapped a decade of profits. For passengers, the combination of returning demand and higher costs could mean more expensive tickets and prices ahead. As for me, I would pay any ticket price to have a flight without the government overreach mandate of the useless masks or the stupid vaccine. When is the government going to stop this? Of course, the illegal vaccine mandate is also becoming a problem as the deadline for forced vaccine is looming. This illegal mandate, forced vaccine, is causing employee actions such as sickouts or employees just not complying. We have also seen unruly passengers this year, including passengers literally punching flight attendants and breaking their jaw. Imagine being the President of the United States and flying on a free luxury airline with no mask and no hassles. This is the idiot in charge of who mandated the vaccine and the masks. Well, enjoy your trip this Thanksgiving, and be warned, this is the perfect time for flight staff to conveniently get sick in protest of all this bullcrap. By the way, so you know that the mandate, which is unbelievable, the mandate that they're talking about, and it was overturned in the Fifth Court, they're actually telling us you need to absolutely do it anyway until the absolute ruling is done. That's crap. It's done. The Fifth Circuit said don't do it. And they're saying, no, sorry, we're going to keep fighting it. Until then, you have to do it. That's not how the law works. By the way, you can always drive to your destination and avoid the bullcrap, but travelers interested in avoiding the airport altogether and driving over the holidays may find they will pay more than last year in gas. The U.S. gasoline prices averaged $3.41 a gallon, up 60% from a year ago, according to the AAA. Let's go, Brandon. What do you expect, right? That's what happens, right? All right, let's talk about the infrastructure bill. President Braindead said he would sign the more than $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill into law, which he did, by the way. And the package will put $550 billion in new funds into transportation, broadband, and utilities. The legislation will put $110 billion into roads, bridges, and other major projects. It will also invest $66 billion in freight and passenger rail, including potential upgrades to Amtrak. It will direct $39 billion into public transport systems, and the plan will put $65 billion into expanding broadband because apparently, after the coronavirus pandemic, millions of Americans had no internet access. Oh, come on. But they have a cell phone with internet access? Do me a favor. You want to make up this stuff, that's fine. I'm all for the idea. But when the political comment in the press release says, hey, they couldn't get internet service. Oh, I see. We're helping the unfortunate who can't get broadband. Bull crap again. By the way, it'll also put another $55 billion into improving water systems and replacing lead pipes, which actually I'm a fan of too. Although I read some of that legislation, it's not going to be easy for you to do it, and it's going to be bad in most cases because anything the government oversees is going to be a problem. I actually talked about that in another show. Look, I know some of you think this is just Democrats spending money recklessly as they always do. However, this really will benefit the country. That's probably why it went out with the title Bipartisan Infrastructure Bill. The question is, and will always be, how will we pay for this? Taxes will go up and they're going to go down depending on who the president is. We always know that taxes will go down when the Democrats are in charge and taxes will go up. Taxes will go up when the Democrats are in charge and taxes will go down when the Republicans are in charge. You need to learn how to pay less taxes and learn how to make more money, and this is the key to having your own economy. So you should have your own economy. Don't worry about other people's economy. Worry about your own economy. That will be the key for you to be able to live better. All right, let's talk a little bit about WeWork. WeWork shares were up more than 2% Monday after the company announced announced third quarter earnings. The company's first report since going public in October. Total revenue for the quarter was $661 million, up 11% from the previous quarter. The company also saw a loss of $4.54 per share. That's an improvement from the loss of $5.51 per share a year ago this quarter, which is not bad. If you remember, WeWork was in big trouble when the company's owner was accused of overvaluing the company at $47 billion. That slowly fell as news of the company. The company slowly fell as news of the company's finances unraveled, and investors raised concerns over its business model and its founder, then former CEO, Adam Neumann. Look, here's the deal. I think the company definitely has potential. I like the business model. However, if they actually owned the buildings they were renting, it would be an enormous improvement on their business model. The stock is just under $10, and look, I think that gives it room to run. The options are also pretty reasonable, so again, it might be a good company to invest in. The commercial real estate landscape has changed with this pandemic, and many people working from home are returning to the office or at least want to be in the office environment. I'm going to tell you, watch this company, watch it move up in the next quarters, and it may be something for you to do. Anyway, let's take a break, and we'll see you in a couple of minutes.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse, and so far we've been discussing the market update. The Dow is up, down almost 13 points. The S&P barely even moved, which is interesting. The Nasdaq is down almost 7 points, and nothing really happened. We talked about the fact that airline price increases are going to happen, so it's going to cost you more money to travel this year. We talked about the fact that The infrastructure bill was signed, and I said it's not a bad thing. It's actually probably will be pretty good. The question is, how are we going to pay for it? Who knows? Coming up, we're gonna be talking about some more good stuff. All right. Anyway, by the way, did you guys hit the share button yet? Hit the like button. Let me know you enjoy the show. Of course, you can also leave comments, and I'll try to respond to them. I see someone leaving a comment right now. That'll be great. Let's talk a little bit about Morgan Stanley's market outlook. So Morgan Stanley sees more challenging year ahead for U.S. equities against the backdrop of higher interest rates, slowing growth, and supply chain disruptions. The Wall Street firm recently set its S&P 500 target for next year at 4,400. That's pretty low. That implies a 5% decline from current levels. The negative projection followed a blockbuster year for stocks that have seen the S&P 500 rally 25%. A lot of that is built in. The pandemic stuff was built in. Their pessimistic view is in line with mine. I'm going to tell you right now, I believe that they're absolutely true. However, they also predicted a 25% decline by mid-2020, and that did not happen. So they're recommending investors buy healthcare, financials, and secular technology companies. They also advise investors to avoid, believe it or not, consumer goods and cyclical technology stocks, which could suffer from a payback in demand and margin pressure. So slow down a little bit and make sure you pick the right stocks. I also agree with most of the projections, and I've been saying we will have a pullback shortly. My prediction was this week, and it may just happen, let's see, but also it's going to be a temporary one. Look for a big drop day, then a quick rebound. Hold in cash just a few more days, and I think you're going to be really, really happy. All right, let's talk about silver and gold. Excuse me. All right. Being a big fan of holding both silver and gold, it's nice to see them moving up again. Usually, hold on, we need a commercial so I can clear my throat.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
Oh man, how embarrassing. All right, let's get back to this, but I'm going to tell you what happened really. So just so you know, of course, the reason that I got all choked up is because Kittens is back. My favorite troll is back, and she's talking to me, and she's telling me about Kermit the Frog, and that I sound like Kermit the Frog, and I had to laugh. I thought it was so funny. I thought it was so funny that I choked up and started laughing instead of reading the script the way it's supposed to be read. So thanks a lot, Kittens. I always appreciate your your viewership, and you're the best, and it's so much fun to make fun of you while you make fun of me. All right, let's get back to a little bit about silver and gold here. So being a big fan of silver and gold, I'm holding both, and it's nice to see them moving up again. Usually with the signs of inflation, gold and silver move up, and finally, that's starting to happen again. Prices remain down nearly 10% from their record highs above 2,050, which they hit in August 2020. When the nervous investors worried the pandemic might upend their recovering stock portfolios, however, it didn't happen. Still, last week's gain marked a sign that investors fear inflationary pressures could linger longer than initially expected. So silver is peaked, actually it peaked way back when, about just under 30 in that time, and both the metals are moving up, and that could bring the opportunity for ETFs like SLV or JNUG. Oh no, not JNUG. JNUG, by the way, is hovering in the 80s, and it fell as low as the low 50s in the summer. My suggestion is to buy gold and silver, and it's not only a hedge against inflation, but it's also a great emergency currency if the world has major outages such as power internet. You never know what the metaverse, of course, is going to bring also. All right, let's talk a little bit about inflation. Many proponents of the brain-dead administration want us to believe that inflation is transitory and the prices will start to fall soon. I have bad news for you. They won't, and inflation is here to stay. It will, however, slow down eventually, but that $5 a gallon you're paying, let me guess, kittens, you voted for this idiot. $5 sorry, I had a laugh, right? So $5 a gallon is what you're paying at the pump, and it's going to stay there. And of course, everybody blames kittens, it's her fault. The administration will continue their dumbass policies on oil, and that's why. The Federal Reserve is losing credibility over its long-standing view that inflation is transitory, according to Mohammed El-Arian, a chief economic advisor. We have ample evidence that there are behavioral changes going on, El-Arian said. Companies are charging higher prices, and there's more to come. Supply disruptions are lasting for a lot longer than anyone anticipated. Consumers are advancing purchases in order to avoid problems down the road. And that, of course, puts pressure on inflation, and then wage behavior is also changing. So if you look at the underlying behavioral element that leads to inflation, you come up with the conclusion that this will last for a while. And that's even before you talk about renewed COVID disruptions, or in other words, government overreach might come back. So inflation is here to stay. And look, let's have a toast to President Poopy Pants by putting in the comments, let's go Brandon, because he's in charge. Let's go Brandon. Put that in the comments. And we will then let you know, hey, whose fault it is. And by the way, everybody tell kittens the same thing, that it's her fault. So let's go Brandon, and let's go kittens. All right. So far as we've been discussing the market update. We've been saying that the Dow is down about 13 points. The S&P hardly moved, and the Nasdaq is down about 7 points. We talked about airline price increases. We talked about the infrastructure bill being signed. We talked about the fact that WeWork is back. We also said that Morgan Stanley said that the market outlook doesn't look that great. And of course, silver and gold are moving up. And the fact that inflation is definitely not transitory. So we're going to be talking a little bit about the wrap up and some stock picks of mine. But first of all, did you guys hit that share button? Come on, guys, hit the share button. Hey, even you kittens, hit the share button. Let everybody know that you're my #1 troll. Hit the like button. Let me know you enjoy the show, and leave more comments on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and LinkedIn, and let everybody know that you appreciate kittens watching. I also want to remind you that this show will be moving to 7:30 on Monday through Friday as of November 29th, and we will be broadcasting the show on WWDB Radio in Philadelphia live as of December 1st. So kittens, you can yell at your radio. Stay tuned for that. I'm wondering how the Philadelphia market's going to react to Larry Steinhouse during the morning drive. But hey, we're going to find out. Could you imagine this show in Philadelphia morning drive? It'll be very, very interesting. All right. The market, as you know, it moved up this morning and then fizzled out as the afternoon came. The most notable move came from Boeing, when it skyrocketed 13 points. Meta also moved up at one point. It was up 11 points. Apple fell back, and most of the stock I followed also fell. Look, Disney even pulled back, but I still like Disney as a play. I think it's great under 160, so do it. Tesla, of course, fell down below 1,000 as the momentum is wearing off. CCL and AAL are in the buying range. I like CCL at 22 or below. And look, both stocks are a great stock option play, and both will come up nicely. Of course, on the crypto scene, we saw Bitcoin. We saw Bitcoin's, right around 65,000, 63,000. Shiba is holding out at the 53 range. Come on, Shiba Army, make this 1 cent. There's a whole Shiba Army. It's actually hysterical. You watch it on Facebook. They all talk about it. So Doge is also holding out at 25 to 27 cents. And since I was having so much fun with all of this, as you said, I bought AMP, and it's also holding in the same range. Bitcoin, as we said, 63,000, and Ethereum at 4,600. Look, It's time for some movement here, and remember that crypto is usually a tell for the stock market. Right now, crypto is moving sideways, and that would make me believe that the market will do the same. I'm looking forward to the next move in crypto and the world, for it to determine what the stock market is going to do. So be careful. You need to take a look at this and watch the crypto market, and then it'll also be a tell for the real estate market. All right. By the way, hey, I got something for you guys real quick. Joe Biden. All right. I want to thank you again for watching Money Chat Now. Don't forget, we'll be moving the 29th at 7:30, and we'll be live on the radio at WWDB as of December 1st. Are you going to listen? Are you going to watch? Come on now. We want to do it. All right. And if you have made money with some of the stock tips discussed in this show, please leave a comment. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and share it on your wall. And of course, from time to time, I own some of the assets and options discussed in this show. The opinions discussed in this show is solely mine, and no one has asked me to discuss them. Thanks for watching Money Chat Now. We look forward to your continued support, and we will see you here tomorrow at 4:03. Take care, everybody.